For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliott Apollo's, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you're having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin.
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it.
Oh, fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.
Yes, it is.
Welcome in. No one to blame. Hindsight is 20/20. I'm feeling that after recapping my college basketball bets yesterday. Oof. Dude, upset on upsets yesterday, man. Tough sledding out there. And just a bunch of tough losses yesterday, Kev. We took it on the chin yesterday, but hey, no one to blame.
No one to blame.
Kev, how you feeling, brother?
Probably feeling better than a lot of these top-ranked college basketball teams. I can tell you that, man. There was some major bunch of top 15 upsets yesterday.
Major upsets. We're going to get into all of them. We're going to be hitting on NCAA men's basketball. We got huge, obvious NBA news to start talking about.
Oh, yeah.
We got to recap the NFC, AFC championship games again. Going to relive that. That's fun. We missed Tuesday's show last week. Took the night off. But we're here. We're ready to go. Kev, let's start with that crazy NBA trade, man. Break it down for the people. What's going on?
All-time fumble here by the Mavs, in my opinion. So Luka, Maxi Kleber, and one of the Morris brothers, Markieff. He's a throwaway person in this trade. To the Lakers. Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a first-round pick to the Mavericks. And then Jazz are the third team in this deal to make the money work and everything. They get Jalen Hood and 2 second-round picks. But, man, the Lakers giving up a 31-year-old getting Luka. Dude, Lakers coming out smelling like roses in this deal.
They fleeced them, man.
Yeah, street clothes. Anthony Davis going to the Mavs. I mean, Charles's guy, street clothes. Charles Barkley, that's his nickname he's got for him.
Calls AD street clothes. How come, Kev? How come?
Yeah, because he's always in street clothes. He's in street clothes.
He never fucking plays, dude.
Yeah, he's always on a bench in street clothes, never in a game suited up. Now he has had a great year. He's had some great games. He had a 41-20 game the other night, but he's banged up. He's injury prone. He's the Mavericks. What's his name got out who's the owner? Blanking
Cuban?
on his name. Cuban got out. It's like, man, was he looking into the future on some of this stuff here?
Well, I saw a tweet. He must have had some strong disagreements. I saw a tweet. One of the guys in my group chat posted it. That the GM was saying, defense wins championships. What are you talking about, dude?
Great players win championships.
That's why you traded Luka Doncic, because defense wins championships. AD is going to be your defensive hero now. What are you talking about?
Anthony Davis,
make this make sense.
A healthy Anthony Davis 6 years ago was probably one of the better defenders in the league. But
sure,
he's not anymore. He's not.
This ain't that.
But to even dig into this a little deeper, think about this. Dallas didn't want to pay Jalen Brunson as a free agent. He goes to the Knicks. He's one of the best point guards in the league right now. One of the best players in the league, not just point guard. Dude, right. Luka and Jalen Brunson are now gone from the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know how the Lakers swung this deal. This smells a little bit like the 2011 Chris Paul trade that the league denied. David Stern.
Break that down.
So David Stern denied the New Orleans Hornets at the time were trading Chris Paul to the Lakers for Lamar Odom, Kevin Martin, a couple other throwing players. Luis Scola at the time was just a backup big off the bench. Goran Dragic was the other guy in that. And David Stern come out and denied it. Basically said it wasn't good for the league, wasn't going to do it. At the time, Lamar Odom was pre-Kardashian, so he was pretty good.
he was smoking crack then, dude. That's good.
Yeah, he wasn't on that stuff back then.
Bunny Ranch, man.
The fact that this trade goes through, I just think is insane that the Mavericks made it crazy. Lakers, I hate the Lakers, don't like the Lakers, but man, this is a game changer.
Let's put our tinfoil hat on real quick. That New Orleans trade got denied. Wouldn't have been good for the league at the time in David Stern's eyes. Now NBA is getting a lot of criticism this year. Their ratings are down. Guys aren't playing. They're trying to bring some eyes back to the NBA. So why not go ahead and just approve this trade, right?
The other thing about that trade back in 2011 was the NBA owned the Hornets at that time. They were owned and ran by the NBA because there was like some kind of transition in the ownership of the team. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
insanity.
So yeah, hey, these teams. Hey, people are going to be talking about the NBA now. Everybody, people like Luka. Even my wife, who's not a huge NBA fan, she likes Luka. He's a fun personality.
How could you not, dude?
Everybody,
does it all on the floor.
People who don't even like basketball, don't like NBA, know Luka, like Luka. Now he's going to the Lake Show. And the thing that's crazy is if Dallas wants to make this deal because either they don't think they could keep Luka, or I get that happens. Sure. But you've got to get one of them young assets from the Lakers. They got Connect. They got, they've got these young pieces. They didn't get any of them. So
sense, dude.
And only a first round pick on I don't know.
He's got to be at least. He's got to be worth 3 at least, right? At least.
Well, and again,
what is Anthony Davis worth straight up? Is he even worth a first round pick straight up?
It's hard to say because of the contract, the guaranteed contracts, the NBA.
Take all that out. Take all that out of there. Is AD even worth a first round pick?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You think so?
Yep.
Today,
yep.
I disagree. I don't think he is at all.
The NBA first round picks aren't like the NFL. They're not quite as valuable. They don't see him as that big of a
even with all that, I still don't think he is, dude. He, especially on that team, man. I don't know. I don't see it. Dude, Luka brought him to the NBA Finals last year.
Oh no,
he drugged the Mavericks to the NBA Finals last year, and they didn't have a chance against the Celtics. Yeah. No one coming out of the West really did, Yeah. So I don't know, man.
Again,
I don't know what they're doing.
My side of it is the Dallas got no young pieces in this deal. That's what I don't like. They have some young talent on that team, but none of it, and they still got it. And now they've got Luka, they've got LeBron for what, another 2 years maybe. So
Isn't that insane to say?
yeah,
Bronny, dude, Bronny and Luka, dude. So I saw another tweet that said, "Man, this Luka Doncic Lakers jersey is going to be hung from every frat house in North America, dude." You know that's going to be like one of the number one jerseys this year. Going to the Darties with the boys, rocking the Lakers Doncic jersey.
Yeah.
Every bandwagon fan out there is going to have this. I might have to get one, dude.
You got your so you got your Lakers jersey, you got your Cowboys jersey, you got your Yankees jersey, right?
That's it, dude.
Yeah,
That's
they're
it.
gonna have them. They're gonna have them all three hanging up in the dorm.
You got your jean shorts that come down to your calves, and you got your white Air Forces on, dude. And you are ready.
Yeah.
You're ready to go, dude. My team ain't making the playoffs this year. All right. That's talking NBA. I actually got involved in a little NBA earlier this week. Not tracking all my plays yet in the NBA, but there's some player props. Now that the NFL is winding down, Kev, I'm getting involved a little bit. You just have to be super careful, and there's certain spots in the NBA when guys are sitting out, which is their big thing right now. You know, guys not playing, guys sitting out. It brings up opportunity for these tier 2, 3, and 4 guys to score. So you go and find these teams that have their stars out, like the Hornets the other night. They had Ball's hurt. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. I'm not in tune to the NBA at all, but I'm getting there.
He might be street clothes part 2.
Yeah, well, maybe. He's good though, man. He's good.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, it doesn't stop the street clothes part of it though, does it?
Nope.
But I picked up on this dude named Grant, dude. And I laddered him up to like 18 points. He went for like 23 or something like that. Like the opportunity is absolutely there. We'll get involved a little bit. I know Jake, our data guy Jake for Dude Champions, he's been getting involved in some crazy NBA 3-point ladders. This dude is addicted to the ladders. He's the laddie daddy, the prince of parlay. So we'll be getting him on the shows a little bit moving forward. But let's transition a little bit, Kev, to NCAA men's basketball. College basketball season is upon us. March Madness will be here before you know it. Kev, we had some crazy upsets last night. You hit on a couple of your favorites. I know you got your Arizona gear on right now.
Oh yeah, that was you know what? I'll start off with that one.
There you go.
So yeah, Arizona playing rival Arizona State. Arizona wins, I think by 9. Pretty good heated rivalry over the years there. Arizona State's typically not great. Arizona's actually been down start the season. They have picked a couple big games up here, beat Iowa State the other day. But after the game, you know, Bobby Hurley is the Arizona State coach. Tommy Floyd is the Arizona coach. Bobby Hurley starts pulling his guys from the handshake line, telling them to get to the locker room. We're not shaking hands. Don't talk to them. There was assistants. There was an Arizona State player dabbing it up with an Arizona guy. The assistant literally grabbed him, pulled him apart, threw him over. Arizona's Bobby Hurley's yelling over at Tommy Lloyd. I don't know exactly what went down, but these Hurley brothers suck.
Yeah, what's the deal with that, dude? What is happening there?
I'm so sick of Bob. First of all, Bobby Hurley is not a good coach. He's bounced around. I don't know. He's on 4 or 5 teams now. He's got that mini me attitude like his brother Dan, but he's just not a good coach. Yeah. They both suck, but only one of them's a good coach, and it's not Bobby. It's Dan. Now Dan sucks too. He's a good coach, but he sucks. I'm over him. His little rants were funny, I think, at first for most people. Now he's kind of worn thin pretty quickly. And now UConn won last night, but they're number 25 in the country.
Yeah, that's that's an upset, man. That's an upset.
Yeah.
They beat number 9 Marquette.
Yeah, Marquette's tough. That was a big one. I'll tell you what, the Tennessee throttling number 5 Florida. Now Tennessee's a good team, but their best player was out. Point guard was out, didn't play. The fact that they come out and still beat Florida, number 5 Florida by 20 was pretty alarming.
I had the over in that game. I played over. It was like 147 or 143. I can't remember. one of my guys alerted me to it the night before, and I went ahead and checked the numbers. And dude, I had this game getting into the mid 150s. It landed on 108 points. Like, what happened with Florida? 44 points for Florida. Dude, they're averaging like 78, 79, something like that.
Yeah, that was that one wasn't even close either. Like they won by 20, but it was and like I said, for have your starting point guard out from Tennessee and to still be able to that was definitely
it was close at half. It was 24-21 half, and then from there, dude, just
blew out everything.
All downhill.
Iowa State's on a little bit of they're on the struggle bus, man. K-State.
I wish I would have played K-State, dude. The numbers were there. It's just go ahead.
Unranked K-State upsetting number 3 Iowa State 80-61.
Iowa State was 15.5-point favorite.
Back-to-back losses. They lost to Arizona previously. Unranked Arizona. They'll probably be ranked.
I was on that game.
Yep.
Arizona money line in that game.
Yep.
Arizona was a short home favorite. When you see something crazy like that against like a top 5 team in the nation, dude, follow the money. Follow the money. But yeah, man. How about Texas Tech? Number 22 Texas Tech beating number 6 Houston on the road, man. Houston was a 9.5-point favorite. Texas Tech with the outright victory in overtime by 1 point. What do you think of this Texas Tech team?
Wasn't this the game where the guy got ejected for Texas Tech like 2 minutes into the game? Did you see that? So no. He jumps up to make an overhead pass and he does the Draymond and he kicks his leg out and hits the guy in the nuts.
Damn.
Hey, 2-3 minutes in the game or something like that, ejected.
Good.
He's gone.
Good.
Well, no, it didn't look like he did on purpose though. I was shocked that they ejected him. It was crazy. He should not have been ejected.
Without seeing it, I'm going to say good.
Yeah, you'd have to see it. But
there's way too many games yesterday, man. I couldn't catch them all. I had no action on that game either.
The fact that Texas Tech come out and put up 82 points on Houston,
massive.
That's the taker from this game, man.
On the road,
Houston's
dude. It's in Houston.
Yeah, Houston's defense gets after it, and they're at home, and they give up 82 points.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Both
Houston's one of the top defensive
yeah.
teams in the league.
Yep. Both those teams are now 17-4. Houston 9-1 in the Big 12. Texas Tech 8-2 in the Big 12. Sneaky, dude. Iowa State dropped to 7-3 in the Big 12. That Big 12 tournament is going to be incredible this year, dude. SEC Big 12 tournaments are going to be awesome, dude. We have so many good schools coming up right now. I got a couple more here, dude. Baylor upset number 11 Kansas. Yep. Couple Big 12
I watched
teams.
that one.
Baylor trying to get back into the mix here. They were down 19 points at halftime. They scored 60 second half points, dude. Baylor 81-70 victory over Kansas. Dude, that is massive.
They were
absolutely
up 21.
Massive.
They were up 21 in the first half. 19
Baylor?
at halftime. Yeah. No. Kansas was up 21. Kansas was up 21 in the first half. They were up 19 and a half, like you said. And for Baylor to come back was
60
21
second point.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, Baylor was, what did we just say? Baylor was a short home favorite against a 11 seed team or 11th ranked team, man. I mean, you got to be careful there. Arkansas went into Kentucky, number 12 Kentucky, unranked Arkansas. Arkansas beat them by 10. Now this something fishy was going on here because Arkansas, the line movement was crazy. Wow, so my numbers are completely off here. I had action on this game, but something's not looking right on my end. But Arkansas opened as a 12-point dog, closed as an 8-point dog. I mean, follow the money. Follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. There's a reason those lines are moving.
Obviously, Coach Cal going back to Rupp Arena against Kentucky. That was a whole thing, obviously. A little bit of a mixed reaction. They were obviously booing him, but you could tell they were giving him his props a little bit at certain points in that introduction.
I would have been booing him.
I'm not a Coach Cal fan, so I'd have been booing the shit out of him. But
Well,
you know,
if you
you're,
were from
you're a
Kentucky
fan,
yeah.
you know, he put in 15 years there, probably 12, 13 good ones, great ones.
How you gonna leave, dude? How you gonna leave? You got to retire a Wildcat, in my opinion.
Yeah, that don't happen anymore. Coach K might be the last one that happens with.
I know, but he's part of that Coach K era, in my opinion, dude. Those blue chip
actually
teams.
Michigan State. Izzo might be the last one that kind of does that.
He will.
Yeah.
Speaking of Michigan State, 5.5 point favorite, lost outright to unranked USC. USC's got a couple nice victories.
Couple upsets. Yeah.
They hit Michigan State, and they just beat Nebraska. They beat Iowa. They beat Illinois several weeks ago, number 13 Illinois at the time. So USC putting together a little bit of a resume, trying to make something happen. What last one, Kev, here for the upsets? This is crazy how many upsets there were. But number 20, Missouri went into number 14, Mississippi State, dude. Beat them by 17 points, 88-61. I didn't have any action on there.
No.
But just absolute craziness, man. Or actually, no, I lied. There's more. There's a bunch more, dude.
Oh, say I got we're definitely not an upset, but obviously when Duke North Carolina play,
gosh,
that's a must watch. As much as I hate Duke, but
North Carolina, what a fall from grace.
Hey, from tip to the buzzer, Duke throttled them.
What's up with this Duke team, dude? Talk to me about this Duke team. Are they contenders? Are they real?
Yes. Top 10 in offense and defensive efficiencies. They're starting five in that game against North Carolina, average height of 6'8".
Wow.
The point guard is, so you got a 6'7" point guard bringing the ball up. At one point, their center, the tallest person on the team, was the guy kind of bringing the ball up. Kneppel and them guys were, they're long, lanky. They guard. They don't get a lot of turnovers per se, but they make every shot difficult. They contest every shot at the rim, 3-pointers just with their length. And North Carolina, their talent level, this is not a North Carolina talented team.
Hell no.
They just Davis was the guy left over from him and Caleb Love when Caleb Love transferred to Arizona. This is not North Carolina talent. That team is just untalented as a North Carolina team that I can remember, man. Just be interested to see what Hubert Davis does here in the next couple of years to kind of get that back on track, and if he'll be around to see it.
So looking at Duke's track record this year, obviously I love college basketball the way they start the year. They lost to number 19 Kentucky at the time. They went ahead and beat 17 Arizona. Then they lost to, at the time, number 1 Kansas by 3 points. But then they went ahead and put it on number 2 Auburn by about 6 points. So I don't know that this Duke team. I think they're a year out. If they can keep this team next year, I don't think they're going to make the kind of noise you think they are in the tournament.
I think the games you just talked about. Well, I think the games you just talked about, they needed early because they have freshmen. So they played them tough games early. They lost a couple. But, man, normally I would agree with you because they're young. But to have young players playing the defense that they're playing, because usually them young players – aren't getting in defensively and kind of playing that way. That's why I think I like them to make a run this year.
Defense against who, though? Like, what are we talking? Like North Carolina? This North Carolina team, we just said it doesn't have any talent. They let up 70 to them. You know what I mean? NC State.
Yeah.
What do you know what I mean? Wake Forest, Boston College, Miami, Notre Dame put up almost 80 points on them. I mean, they're playing Pitt, SMU, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, George Mason, Incarnate Ward. Like these are the last 10, 15 games that they've played, and they're not playing anyone. So I'm a wait and see. I'm not saying the team is bad by any means. I'm gonna wait and see on Duke. They're a favorite to win the tournament too. Did you see I think they're like plus 450. No.
Yeah,
the championship.
Oh no, I'm telling you, they are going to be a hot team going into the tournament because their length will cause problems to, especially some of these lower level teams that just don't. They're averaging 6'8". Like I said, yeah, North Carolina in that game last night, North Carolina at one point, Duke had no player under 6'7" on the court, and North Carolina had one guy on the court that was 6'7". That's crazy. You know what I mean?
That's tough.
That
tough.
length
That's tough.
is tough to get by for some teams.
Yeah. When they go
again,
when the rest of these teams are running into form in the NCAA, though, Kev, I just don't see Duke this year being the last one standing. Not yet. That's just my opinion.
I don't, and I agree. They're probably not going to win it, but hey, if you see them in the Final Four, don't be surprised. In my opinion, and again, I just come from a Duke hater, so.
So in the ACC, there's only 2, 4, 6
ACC's
teams above
Yeah.
500, dude. There's 6 teams above 500. That's crazy.
And that's why, you've talked about it. We've talked about it in college basketball. When you play these top teams early in no cupcakes, they played Kansas, they played Kentucky, they played Arizona, like
Auburn.
Especially when you're in a down year, them are huge get ready games to kind of push you through a season, especially with freshman, laden team.
Yep. There's 3 future bets I've placed college basketball last week. I took Auburn at plus 425. If these two teams do meet again, it'd be electric, and I think Auburn would take them down. Iowa State, I know they're having a tough go right now, but at plus 1,000, I just thought the value was too good. And then, dude, I took a little shot. Michigan State plus 2,200. I really like what this Michigan State team's doing this year, man. And Izzo, Izzo's going to be – is he one of the best tournament coaches ever? Like, Izzo, man, gets the teams going in the tournament. And if they're making this kind of noise, man, I like it.
There was a stat years ago. If you went to Michigan State and you stayed for all 4 years, at any point you would have played in a – Final Four, or it was like if you stayed 4 years at Michigan State, you were playing in a Final Four. Like it was. That's how he consistent he had kind of been for them stretch. He hasn't gotten the top guys. He hasn't gotten some of the top talent recruiting wise like he used to, but he still gets his kind of guys.
He got a bad rap a few years ago. It's like people just started finding out how much of like a hard ass that he is. He's been that way the whole time. But do you remember it was like several years ago and he was like caught like
berating a guy on the sideline. Yeah.
Yes, in a big game, and like the national media like got it, and this cupcake nation that we are now. Oh my God, he's yelling at these kids. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The kids
this isn't rec league, man.
Like, what are we
this
talking
isn't rec
about,
league.
Dude?
This isn't rec league, man. This is big time. This is hey, great line the other day I heard from he's either I think it was Rick Barnes. He said, "Hey, I'm paying you to do a job. If you're not doing what I'm paying you to do, you can come sit by me." These guys are getting paid now, man.
Exactly. It's going to be a lot more real than
goes both ways.
Playing. Yeah. So college basketball. Follow me on X at @do_Neffy. Posting all my plays there. Yesterday, rough day yesterday, Kev. I went 8-11-1. First non-profitable day in several days. I'm putting out plays every day, man. I find numbers that I like, and I'm going to toss them out there. Record for the year right now, 149, 130, and 4. Right now, a winning percentage just under 54%. So not – Kev, where's your Bills swag? Dan in the chat.
You're lucky Jesse's got his on, right? After the
only reason I wore this is because it matched the hoodie, dude. Because Bills are on my shit list still right now. They cut me deep, man. Perfect segue. Let's get into a little bit of the NFL. Let's relive it. Relive the travesty. What was the AFC NFC Conference Championship games. First one, man, the Eagles put it on the Commanders 55-23. Didn't let up, didn't show any mercy, which I love to see. Commanders just, the Cinderella, right? Cinderella turned into a pumpkin, right? I mean, cool little run there for the Commanders. I just, I wish Detroit could have got their head out of their ass in that game and pulled it off. It would have been a much better game to see Detroit versus Philadelphia versus Eagles Commanders, round 3. Like no one, I don't know. I didn't want to see that. I think it was a great story, Jaden Daniels and all that, but and I'm not just saying that because they smoked him. We talked about this. But I don't know, man. What thoughts on this? Eagles' future in the Super Bowl and Commanders going forward?
Yeah, Washington, it was a great run, great year. I mean, you take a rookie quarterback, dude, you make it NFC Championship game. Only a handful of people have done that. Was it Ben Roethlisberger? Anyway, but it comes down to Jaden Daniels throwing the ball 48 times, no rushing attack.
None.
Other than Jaden Daniels. They have got to get somebody other than Brian Robinson Jr. They have to get an explosive back. I think go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know about that because I thought him and Eckler were fine. Dude, this Eagles defense, though, I think this is why I thought it would have been a good matchup because I think the Eagles may have been able to stop Gibbs and we really would have seen what the Lions had. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I wanted to see it. Now, the Lions were banged up. I just thought if Detroit and Philadelphia were healthy, which Detroit wasn't, that would have been a dream matchup to see strength on strength, dude. This Eagles run defense is insane.
Yeah, I worry about Washington that they're kind of built. How they run their offense is, they're not a heavy run team anyway. Like they're just not going to be because they have Jaden Daniels. But that kind of ball, is that going to win in the playoffs?
I would say the O-line, dude. The O-line more than the run game, right? I mean, listen, these guys, you want to talk about out plus all the turnovers Washington had. Yeah, a lot of turnovers for Washington. Not as many as Detroit had the week before, Dan. Kev, there was 6 quarterbacks to make the NFC or NFL Conference Championship as rookies. Sean King in 99, Big Ben 2004, Flacco 2008, Dirty Mark Sanchez in 2009, Brock Purdy did it a couple of years ago for the Niners, then Jaden Daniels.
Sean King, that's crazy. That was that Tampa Bay That was that Tampa Bay defense with Sapp and Lynch and Derek Brooks
against your Rams, dude.
Yep. That was after, if I remember right.
Yeah, Kev was a Rams fan before he was a Raiders fan. Is that right?
No, I was a Raiders fan. I was a Raiders fan, and the Rams weren't in St. Louis yet. The Rams were still in St. Louis, or still in L.A. When I was in like junior high is when they came to St. Louis. So I kind of, local team, rooted for the Rams. We'd go to Rams games, tailgate, do all that. But
it was easy to at the time too, because they were stacked, man. They were good.
Not early. They were terrible earlier.
But when they came
Jerome Bettis,
greatest show
that
on
was
turf,
about
man.
it. Yeah. Greatest Show on Turf was lit though.
Yeah, this Washington team, they got some improving to do. I definitely think they outkicked their coverage, man. But the NFC East, the Eagles are definitely the class NFC East. We both took them to win their division. I had the Commanders plus 550 to come in second in the division this year. Shout out me. But the Commanders are going to be feisty moving forward, man. I mean, they're going to have to add that defense needs some help. They got this young DB, Mike Sanristil. Sanristil. I don't know how exactly you pronounce it, but he's a stud, dude. They need a little bit of help. Lattimore I don't think did them any favors. I don't know if he'll be coming back. We're going to be touching on every division in the NFL in the offseason, so we're not going to get too involved here. Kev, next game, Chiefs beat the Bills 32-29. That's talking AFC Championship. Okay, what moving on. That was dude, fuck the Chiefs. I'm so sick of this.
Yeah.
That was such bullshit.
So, we're a little bit past all the chatter, from the recap from the game, but looking ahead, like asking, the chat hit us up on this. I want to hear what you got to say. What do the Bills need to push them over that hump? Like, what is there a specific position, player? Whatever.
It's the side of the ball. It's called the defense. So Sean McDermott has given up like 32 points per game in these 4 playoff losses that we've had. He's a defensive coach, right? So what is the breakdown? Our team, I know Benford went out early. We didn't have Taylor Rapp. Dude, every team has injuries. The injury thing, you can't be injury bitten every single year.
Yeah.
You got to figure it out. Well, how about some depth, dude? Why? So we drafted Cole Bishop as a safety this year. That's great. We had no depth. DeMar Hamlin started. I called that. But I didn't want that to happen. He just knows the defense. That's why DeMar Hamlin played as much as he did. DeMar Hamlin's not a great safety, dude. Talent-wise, he's not there. And then you saw our first-round draft pick, Kyer Elam. As soon as Benford got knocked out with another concussion, which 2 in a week, never a good sign.
Bad. Not good.
Dude, when Elam came in, what are we doing with this guy? Why did we draft a man coverage specialist? And student, if you're watching, I know you can correct me if I'm wrong. Elam, I believe, is a man coverage specialist from Florida. We play a zone defense. You know, the whole defense works in unison with each other. That's the McDermott defense when it's humming. When the injuries we've had, it hasn't been able to stay. The cohesiveness hasn't been there. So we have our backups, dude, are just brutal, man. You can't have a team full of A1, A2 players. I understand that. But DeMar Hamlin needs to be like 4th string. Like Kyer Elam needs to not be on the team. How about the defensive line getting some pressure, some push, dude? That we need some help on defense, man. I've been mock drafting already. Safeties, cornerbacks, edge, D-line, dude. That's all I want.
Yeah, there's nothing that irritates me more when draft season comes around and the actual draft happens, or even in free agency. When teams draft a guy or sign a guy that is not a scheme fit for what you're doing, unless that guy is like a generational guy who could fit in any scheme. Okay, you roll with him, you take best player available or whatever, and you go with it. Going back, prime example of this, back in the day, Nnamdi Asomugha for the Raiders was the best man-to-man cover corner for the Raiders for like a 4-year stretch. Leaves, goes to the Eagles, to the super team they had that year, and they play a zone, to your point, they play a zone type of defense, and he was just a guy. He was just another guy. He was sucked. He was terrible. He's not a zone corner. And they paid him handsomely, and it just did not fit into what they do. So if that is the case, that drives me crazy when teams don't, it's the GM and coaches not being on the same page and getting what they need to fit the scheme they run, offensively, defensively, whatever it is. And the depth, if you're gonna make playoff runs, you've got to have depth. You go look at some of these teams, you just got to have the depth. Injuries are going to happen. You've got to overcome them. Good teams overcome them.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking at his draft profile in NFL. His prospect grade was a 6.38. I love when I'm doing mock drafts, dude, and I'm not sure when I'm starting to learn about some of these guys. I like to see if the NFL.com, their prospects, they go in depth on these guys and they give them a little score. So he was a 6.38, which to them is
Elam. Are you talking about Elam?
Yeah. Yes. Will eventually be a plus starter. Eventually. Now that in the first round, 23 overall, will eventually be a plus starter. Dude,
no, you better be.
He was the 5th ranked corner in the draft, man. Like, what do we, and they're saying here, his last season at Florida wasn't his best season. What are we doing? God, we're going to get into draft talk and our respective teams, Bills, Raiders for Kev. We'll be talking about it all. But Kev, how about this? How about the Buffalo Bills trading for Max Crosby? That's what I'm seeing.
No.
I know you hate it.
No. Spytech, the new GM, has already came in and said, you do not let your Pro Bowl type players leave the building. He's already, and I think he's putting that out there because of all of the Crosby talk.
I think he's driving his price up is what he's doing.
and he could be.
Everyone has a price. And what a great
Yep.
fit Crosby would be.
No, terrible.
Crosby
fit.
and Rousseau. Are you
Terrible
kidding
fit.
me, dude?
He's got Raiders tattooed on him. Like he would. And he's
you can't. You ever see tattoo removal, dude?
Nope, he's locked in.
He can get that championship Buffalo Bills championship tattoo right on his neck, dude. Right here.
He ain't got room on his neck. I don't think he's already got it covered.
No, I think
Max
we'll get into who our team should be drafting, what other teams will be drafting, draft talk. We'll be doing all that in the offseason. Thoughts on the Super Bowl, Kev? I think it's Chiefs -1.5 right now. Under over, I already got bet down from 49.5, I think, to 48, depending on where you're looking. What are your thoughts on the game itself?
Just a quick kind of note, I guess. We'll hit this heavy next week. Obviously, if you're a casual bettor, hey, bet the Chiefs. I mean, bet Patrick Mahomes, bet the Chiefs. It typically doesn't lose, right? But hey, Philly can run the ball and eat the clock up. I kind of like Philly in this. I think.
Hell yeah!
I just think.
I think I would
Barkley
today,
and Hurts. Again, I get it. Like betting against the Chiefs is typically a lose. But I know they're 15-1 in the regular. Like I know this. I get it. I understand it. They are vulnerable.
15-2.
Even that sounds crazy, but because they're 15-2, but
Eagles are 14-3, dude. Eagles are 14-3.
This defense is the best defense going right now. Jalen Carter, Eagles.
Okay.
Jalen Carter getting after it. I think I like the Eagles just in their mix of defense and running the football.
Dude,
they had
those
pretty
DBs
good
they drafted last year. Quinton Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Dude, that secondary is awesome. Zach Bond, that linebacker, playing out of his mind.
I think the stat line for Hurts last week was 20 for 28 and under throwing the ball for the Eagles is kind of, in my opinion, where they need to be. That's a pretty good mix of running the ball, taking their shots. I think they had longs of like 36, 30, and 25 passing to basically Goddard, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. So run the ball, take their shots, minimal throws. That's probably a little on the high side, 28, but 20 for 28, I'll take that all day with Hurts and run the football.
Yeah, Gainwell's status, so I think will be important to note. Obviously, so this game falls on Saquon Barkley's birthday too, which I don't know.
Birthday bump?
I don't know. Of course. So Tuesday's episode, Tuesday 9 p.m., we're going to be talking all of our Super Bowl bets. The Super Bowl is one of the most fun games to bet on. Props galore. You have specials that you don't have any other times of the year. We're going to be going at the coin toss, the length of the national anthem. I've got a ton of good bets locked in already.
First reception of the game.
I got 4 of those.
I looked at that. Yeah. I got either player to score first touchdown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they set up so many awesome markets for the Super Bowl because it's one of the biggest handles of the year. As far as betting goes, last week I know Kevin was saying that he didn't have his best week, but let's talk about that for a minute because there's 2 games. You're picking from 4 teams. It's the sharpest the lines are going to be probably outside of the Super Bowl. Trying to find advantages in those, dude, is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course you didn't have a good week betting because we're putting bets out for the show, of course, but like, dude,
it's the sharpest. It's probably one of the sharpest betting weekends of the year.
Absolutely.
I would think. Typically I put in less bets than you or Jake. So think about that.
Yep.
If you're a small bet guy and you're not, putting in a lot, these numbers are tight. You're looking at these and I'm looking at them thinking, okay, I'm putting together some bets I like for the show. And super sharp numbers. Super Bowl will be the same, but you'll be able to get a little extravagant like we talked about with some of these crazy ones. So
bet on the coin toss, man. For first one of the game. Make that
non-QB to throw a TD.
I saw that, dude. Over under on players to throw a pass, 2.5. I think it was plus 150. Come on, man. Sirianni getting creative with Saquon. How about Saquon throwing a touchdown?
It was over what? What was the number?
2.5.
2.5 players?
To throw a pass.
Ooh,
yep.
Nah. I'd say I could see 2, maybe one from each team. A trick play, 1 from each team, but 2.5.
That 2 is the quarterbacks.
I thought you meant non-QB.
No,
you're talking okay.
No.
Okay.
Players
no,
to
I
throw
like
a
that.
pass.
Oh, I like that then. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant non-QB player. Okay.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, that's why I was like, that doesn't sound right. Okay. Yep. No, I like it.
I'm looking at you like, yeah. Just players to throw a pass. The line, somebody 2.5.
Yeah, they're gonna have something in there, some trick play that Xavier Worthy's gonna run a reverse and make a throw. Hey, so remember, let's clip this. Back in the day, LaDainian Tomlinson used to do this against the Raiders. I am not joking. Every season, they'd run this little off tackle, a handoff off tackle. And he would score 9 times out of 10 against us on it. And I would say every other game they'd run it, and he would do the little pull-up jump pass, Tebow style, for a touchdown to Antonio Gates all the time. So Barkley, touchdown to Goddard coming around the back of the end zone.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And they're going to keep releasing more. They didn't have the color of the Gatorade. What color Gatorade will be dumped on the winning coach? They didn't have those up at my book when I was looking.
Yeah.
But, my wife cooked up a little 4-leg plus 1,500 parlay we'll be talking about. Becky the Sharp coming in.
Becky special.
The Becky special plus 1,500. And honestly, I love it. Wait till you hear this. Tuesday's episode, No One to Blame, 9 p.m. Make sure you're following me on X, do_Neffy. Follow Kevin at Kevin3E2. Kev, our show sponsor, Altered Grounds. I know the Midwest has still got some snow, man. What are we doing for them?
No, it's starting to warm up a little bit more in the Midwest, but don't get caught slipping this winter. Alter Grounds taking clients for commercial snow removal for 2025. They can be reached at 618-972-9632. That's 618-972-9632. Get a hold of them. Snow removal once it starts warming up. You got your landscaping that needs tightened up after winter. They got you covered. Commercial, big time on the commercial side. Doctor's office, hospitals, dentists, anything like that.
You own a small business, call up Altered Grounds, St. Louis Metro East area. Let them know we sent you. Get $300 off your project. AGNOTB. Kev, the playoffs, NFL playoffs coming to an end.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Couldn't let one show go by without playing that.
Gotta get it in.
We're going to be recapping our preseason predictions. I've already started going through our earlier shows. Kev, I clipped one from our earlier shows. We had an awesome year. This isn't this clip, but the first game of the year, Baltimore, Kansas City, the first drive of the year, we cashed. First score of the game to be a touchdown, plus 210. Derrick Henry score a touchdown, was only minus 129 in week 1. That's how we started off our year on No One to Blame. But we had some good advice for NFL week 1. Kevin, I'm going to play this video.
Where? Back to the Future.
Cincinnati, dude. Jacoby Brissett on Cleveland last year, beat them by like 20 points, right? I know I just said this earlier, but New England's already been counted out. Look for them to come out strong. Fade them later in the season, guys. This is not the spot to fade New England. At least +9. We're going to put a little sprinkle. Come on with it. Little sprinkle +330 on the money line. Be powder. We're going to put a little +330 on the money line there.
Come with it.
You know you fucked up, Woody, don't you? Come on with it. Baby powder. Smell that is. You changing diapers?
I don't know, guys. Tread lightly in your survivor pools. The most obvious spots, guys. I think the most obvious spots sometimes are coin flips.
Come with it.
Come on with it. Oh my God, Mike.
Are we changing diapers?
That is a goat. You East Coast? I far East Coast. That how high, man. What a great movie. We told you, man. Week 1 Survivor, Cincinnati lost outright at home to New England. +9, +330 on the money line. We have a bunch of gems from this season. We're going to be recapping them all. Kev, you got any final thoughts?
No, man. Football season is coming to an end, man. It sucks. Yeah, shed a tear, pour out a little liquor. But hey, NFL draft season will be hot and heavy in it. It's coming up. One of my favorite times of the year. I love digging into the NFL draft. So definitely hit us up, follow us up on Twitter, X, Instagram, everything. We'll be talking draft coming out of the Super Bowl. So
make sure you're following Do Champions everywhere for all of our shows, Coast to Coast, Third and Manageable, Buffalo Blueprint, Hockey Hotline, and of course, No One to Blame. Tuesday episode, we'll be talking about NFL head coaches. We're talking about Super Bowl bets. It'll be a football-heavy episode. Make sure you tune in Tuesday, 9 p.m., No One to Blame. Kev, good to be seen, brother.
No one to blame.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
No One to Blame is sponsored by Altered Grounds Landscaping, the area's top professional landscape company. They're family-owned and operated business serving St. Louis and the Metro East for 20-plus years. Their mission is to make your home or business stand out from the rest. They offer free consultations year-round. Get $300 off your project of $3,000 or more with code AGNOTB. That's code AGNOTB. They're booking pools for the upcoming summer season. So if you're having any thoughts about getting a pool for this upcoming summer, stay ahead of the game and contact them now for any of your pool project needs.
There's no one to blame, there really is no one to blame. But I swear to God, it's my fucking fault. It's a better sports podcast. It's my fucking fault, but there's no one to blame. Neffy Kevin do. Neffy Kevin do.
Do it.
Kevin,
Don't listen to what I say or whatever kind of peer pressure I'm telling you.
Do it. Oh, fucking do it again.
I know there's really nobody to blame for this but myself. Well, I don't know, maybe the Buffalo Bills, the Boston Red Sox, or Mr. T, or the Jets.
Wait a minute, Mr. T, are you telling me that you bet on the fight in Rocky III and that you bet against Rocky?
Hindsight is 20/20, my friend.